Welcome to PMPA's Final Cut of the Week, where we share important information you may have missed while you are making essential parts. I'm Kate Corella-Smith.
And I'm Veronica Durden. And this is what you need to know for the week ending May 3rd, 2024. According to PR News, the ISM Manufacturing PMI fell to 49.2 in April of 2024 from 50.3 in the earlier month, which is below market expectations. The number puts PMI back into a contractionary indicator, failing to capitalize on the expansion indicated in March, which was the first expansion in 16 months. Our take? PMI has been moving in the right direction with a slight upward trend in the last 12 months, but has been a fickle indicator since September of last year, bouncing from near expansion to contraction, which is drawn as a sideways move. This indicates more uncertainty of the future, but does not give us a solid trend to analyze.
We have not found the Federal Register notice, but we have seen an official press release announcement of the banning of methylene chloride under TSCA. Methylene chloride is used in shops for parts cleaning, degreasing, as well as a component of many maintenance spray products and gasket removing products. The press release states, quote, "Today, April 30th, 2024, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency finalized a ban on most uses of methylene chloride. EPA's final action, also known as a risk management rule under the Toxic Substances Control Act, TSCA, requires companies to rapidly phase down manufacturing, processing, and distribution of methylene chloride for all consumer uses and most industrial and commercial uses, including its use in home renovations. Consumer use will be phased out within a year, and most industrial and commercial uses will be prohibited within 2 years," unquote. For more information, contact Miles at mfree@pmpa.org.
The Soo locks provide critical trade infrastructure between Lake Superior and the lower Great Lakes. A critical component of those locks was failing after 60 years of service, and the lead time for new castings was about 18 months. With a tight lead time, the Army Corps of Engineers was able to get the project done in 12 weeks using wire arc manufacturing, which is an additive process. It is time for us to open our perspective up to understand where additive can be a complement to our business infrastructure. Long lead times for castings and forgings can force us to look for alternatives. Additive manufacturing can be a good end solution or a gap solution until near-net shapes are available.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number of U.S. job openings in manufacturing decreased in March. The number of job openings in the larger economy decreased slightly, from 8.8 to approximately 8.5 million. There were 570,000 open positions in the U.S. manufacturing industry in March, down from an adjusted 587,000 in February. Open positions in durable goods manufacturing also declined to 353,000 in March from an adjusted 379,000 in February. Hiring in the manufacturing sector remained level, with 323,000 in March, down 1,000 from February.
The United Health attack was implemented using the Citrix bug. Hackers gain access by lacing web shells on vulnerable NetScalers to gain access. Installing the backdoors gives access to sensitive data and the ability to launch further attacks. Make sure your Citrix systems are up to date. Also enable multi-factor authentication, as it would have helped stop the type of attack. This attack specifically targets the NetScaler instances.
On this week's Speaking of Precision podcast, Miles Free, Carly Kistler-Miller, and David Wynn reveal who should be the best trainer in your shop. Here's a hint. Probably not your expert. This podcast and Speaking of Suppliers podcast can be found on all major podcast platforms or pmpa.org.
Now it's time for our weekly tip. You meet all of the requirements of your standard with your audit program, but is it becoming a cumbersome fact collection process without a whole lot of difference or creativity between audits? For a baker's dozen of tips to take your audit program to the next level of excellence, go to PMPA.org's Knowledge Centers or Final Cut of the Week.
And that's our take on what you need to know for the week ending May 3rd, 2024. For additional information and links about any of the topics discussed today, go to PMPA.org and click on Final Cut of the Week.
Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next Friday. from thrift. But has been a fickle multi-factor authentication, as it would have helped stop the
Yes. Yeah. You were trying so hard.
You were doing really good. .org fight. Damn.
That's the part.
Yeah.
Well, we've got bloopers this time. Always count on me.